Hey yo, what is up FPG fam? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another Chaos Zero Nightmare video. We got the exciting news that CZN is going to be dropping on October 22nd, but the question is it ready to drop on October 22nd? That's what I wanted to go ahead and discuss in today's video. I like doing these discussion based videos every now and again. Let me know in the comments down below if you enjoy where we just talk about the game like we're sitting down on the couch, talk about the game that we're passionate about, give our feedback, talk about the state of the game and things of that nature. If you do enjoy that, once again, let me know in the comments down below. Also, hit the like button. It lets me know you want to see more videos like this, as well as the hype button. It's somewhere around there, and when you find it, go ahead and hit it for me. It helps out the channel tremendously. And once again, it lets me know you want to see more videos like this. We're going to go over what the developers said right here, and then we're going to get into the discussion of whether or not CZN's ready to drop on October 22nd. Talk about a few of the hot topics that are within the community currently right now. So I do hope you enjoyed today's video. Let's go ahead and jump straight into it. Also, if you're new here, welcome. Thank you for clicking on this video. Now, they go on to state ahead of the official launch, a developer commentary video, will be released in early October. We're going to be covering that. We're going to be reacting to that. So that's going to be very interesting. I'm excited to see what that video is going to entail. They go on to state, though, where we'll share our plans moving forward. That's what it's going to entail, but more so specifics, right? We'll discuss the business model. We're going to talk about that, game systems, as well as balance and design topics we know many of you are curious about. We're going to discuss some of those in today's video as well. Lastly, we'll be addressing the valuable feedback we've received during the limited playtest. Rest assured that we are working tirelessly to make improvements to the game as we prepare for launch. Really quickly, massive W to the developers for the communication. I think it's been at least a 9 out of 10, if not a 10 out of 10. I love developers of games that I'm covering that communicate. Once the communication stops, that's where my red flags go up and it gets a little sus. So as long as they keep up the communication, this is great. I want them to continue doing developer commentary videos as well. It keeps the community engaged and hype, and it also is good to know that developers are still actively behind the game, right? That's always a good thing. So continue the communication. Absolutely love it. Now, while we're discussing the topic at hand, I'm going to have in the background one of my most favorite teams that I enjoyed using in the playtest, which is a mono void team consisting of Kayron, Ray, and Tressa. Love this team. And just to give you some lore and backstory on myself, just in case once again you're new to the channel, got into the playtest. I playtested it extensively, dumped a lot of hours into the game, pulled most of the characters, not all of them, but most of them, and I tried out most of them as well. So I have a decent understanding and handle of the game, its current state, where it was in the playtest. So just to give you an idea of where I'm coming from, I got to about level 26 or 27. And I did play all of the story, all of the content that was available. So once again, decent understanding of the game. So let's talk about, I guess, the hottest topic currently in the community right now in regards to CZN. What I will start off by saying is if it's ready to drop right now, currently, no. It isn't, just to put it plain and simple. Now, that doesn't mean it won't be ready by the 22nd. It does have time, a little less than a month, to polish the things that need to be refined and to smooth everything out. It has a solid foundation. I think a little less than a month is enough time to go ahead and take care of the what I would consider minor issues that plagued the playtest that did not make it ready for an official launch. I think if they go ahead and iron those things out, it will be ready by the 22nd. I think they have enough time to be able to go ahead and take care of those things. And I'm interested once again to see what the video has to say. But let's go ahead and talk about the hottest topic and what needs to be probably figured out before official launch, which is the gacha system within CZN. I think this is what the community is most concerned about currently right now, if I'm not mistaken. Let me know in the comments down below. The gacha system is probably the hottest topic, and that's because they did go ahead and adopt the Hoyoverse gacha system, which is the 50-50 and then the guaranteed after the 50-50 when it comes to the limited and standard characters, and then they have a weapon banner. A lot of people are not fond of this gacha system. I definitely understand why. Because of the 50-50, you're pulling for a character that you really want, and you get to the 50-50 and you don't get that character. It feels bad, and then you got to do another, what, 70 pulls, I believe, at least on the standard banner. It was 70 pulls to the 50-50, and then if you don't get it, another 70, so 140 pulls altogether to get the character that you're looking for. A lot of people are not fond of that, and the argument that I've heard the most on the reasons for that is because CZN, and once again, correct me if I'm wrong, this is the argument that from my understanding, is that CZN, it being a chibi roguelike card game, if you will, is not deserving of that type of model, because that model is catered towards, once again, Hoyoverse like Genshin Impact, Zenless Zone Zero, Honkai Star Rail, and Wuthering Waves have adopted that because of the type of premier game it provides and premier type of product that it provides, if you will. Once again, it being, you know, a lot of those games, open world exploration, you pull the character, you can use them, walk around with them, interact with them consistently, full 3D models, you're using them all the time, it's high quality. Whereas CZN is not deserving of that because they have chibi models, you're not open world exploration, it's not full 3D all the time, right? Those are the arguments that I'm receiving, or that I'm seeing, in regards to what is deserving of that type of gacha model and what isn't, right? Now, am I totally against that argument? No, I'm not. I am kind of actually on board with that. It, to me, makes sense. But in my first impressions video for CZN, I did go ahead and provide a solution to that gacha system, or at least what I feel is a good solution for not only the consumer, but also the developers, right? The developers want to make money, and they want the game to be successful in that regards. It has to print money. And the consumer, which would be us, want a fair gacha system to where we feel like we're not getting bent over a barrel, right? And it not costing an arm and a leg to get a chibi. So my solution, just in case you didn't see that first impressions video, which I may leave at the end of this one for you to check out if you're interested, was to adopt a model to where they have two different banners. They have a guaranteed banner where there is no 50-50, but it takes roughly about 90 pulls to get to that guaranteed. So you are, once you hit the 90 pulls, you're guaranteed that character, no questions asked, right? No 50-50. Or you can have a second banner where there is the 50-50 model. It only takes 70 pulls. The rates are slightly higher, but you're gambling, right? You're taking a risk on whether you're going to be getting that character at the 50-50. If you don't, then you go all the way, right? That was my solution. And then the weapon banner just be guaranteed. And I believe the weapon banner should be like 50 pulls. 50 pulls guaranteed, you get the weapon, and that be it, right? I believe that's a good solution. It gives the consumer the ability to make a choice, right? They can decide what they want to do for themselves, and it also still provides the developers with the opportunity to still make a lot of money, because you're still going to have whales that are going for dupes. So even if they go with the guaranteed 90, it's still more pulls, and they're still going to be spending money to be able to, you know, get those dupes of the characters that they want. And if your characters are quality and they are good, then you're going to have whales go for them. You're going to be making money regardless, and you still have the weapon banner that you're going to be making money on. And then who knows down the line, skins and things of that nature. Many different ways you can monetize. So I still believe this is a good model that they can adopt and utilize, in my opinion, personally. Now, if you guys have a different model that you have to keep in mind, the developers, that benefit the developers and the consumers, go ahead and leave it in the comments down below. I hope developers of CZN watch my videos. That would be fantastic. So that way they can see what the community wants, right? That would be great. So that was the topic in regards to the gacha. I think that was the hottest topic, and the one that I wanted to discuss first and foremost was the gacha system. I think obviously people wanted to change. That's all anybody ever is talking about when it comes to this game, whether they're going to pick it up or play it or not, is if the gacha system changes or not, right? So we'll see. Once again, interested in the video and what they have to say, and hopefully they go ahead and they discuss that. Now, the other thing is the little minute things that need to be maybe polished or updated or refined. One being the text in game. First and foremost, at the home screen, when the characters are talking, the text was definitely halfway out. They have to polish that and refine that. That needs to be taken care of before official release, because it just looks bad, right? The other is keywords within the game, and that's something that a lot of players have discussed that played the playtest, is that it could be confusing at times, not knowing what specific keywords are for the abilities of your characters, to know exactly what you're doing with them and what they're able to do when it comes to their skills and things of that nature. So being very clear and understanding on those keywords, having good explanations for them, being able to see those explanations in game would be even better, right? That's just kind of like a quality of life feature, which is what we're going to transition to here in just a second. Being able to have those keywords right there, right? That's something that I think needs to be implemented before official release, which I think is something that they can do. I think they have enough time to be able to get that done, and hopefully they can take care of that, right? Once again, transitioning into QOL, quality of life features. That is something that is important, but it might not be a high priority. There are other things that need to be taken care of before that, in my opinion, and less than a month is a limited time before the official release that they have to go ahead and just rush certain things. So the QOL might be like a later update, 1.2, 1.3, where they implement quality of life features such as like sweet functionalities on the resources when you're, trying to level up characters and you're needing level up materials, level up your characters, partners, potentials, and things of that nature. There just needs to be a raid sweep function for that, where you just go straight through, right? Because the monotonous grind of resource materials is never enjoyable, right? It's never a fun thing. You want to be spending that time in harder content or in your chaos dungeons where you're trying to get better cards for your characters. You don't want to have to continue to go into the game for resource and stuff like that in combat for that, even though there is an auto function feature, which is great. I'm glad they did that. At least I still think there needs to be a raid function in my personal opinion. Anyways, I think that definitely needs to be implemented. So in terms of the QOL, that could be something that they maybe sidelined for a future update. It's not something that I think needs to be really remedied immediately at the official launch of the game. So that's something that they can go ahead and take care of later. The other thing that I did want to go and discuss in terms of the balancing for characters, because that is something that they discuss themselves, which is interesting on how they're going to do that. Like if there's going to be actual balancing for the characters. Buffs and nerfs. For example, Khalif, I think, is incredibly too strong. She far and away is I would consider her the best character, and I think it's not too close of a competition just from the characters that I was able to test. Like I think Kayron is absolutely busted. I think he's incredibly strong, but Khalif is just able to do way too many things in terms of being able to shield, heal. The amount of damage that she's able to do is insane, and then all of her cards just AoE. She just does way too many things, and she's just incredibly too strong in my opinion. So balancing her out is something that I would be interested in, and then being able to maybe provide some buffs to other characters would be great to be able to see. So I'm interested in the balance changes and whether that's going to be implemented before the game drops. Is it necessary before the official release? Not really, in my opinion. Can that happen in an update? Certainly. Could it happen, like soon after the official release happens? Of course. I don't think that's necessary. I think what's really necessary before the official launch is the gacha system to be at least addressed and possibly updated. The keywords and the text on the screen to be taken care of and implemented, so that way it is clear, concise, and in terms of like a professional manner, not being halfway off the screen. I think that is a priority that needs to be taken care of. Also, I would love to be able to see what the first limited banner is going to be. That would be great too before the official release. That would be fantastic. But that's just a personal thing that I would like. But anyways, I think this video was long enough. I think I rambled on long enough. Do I think it's ready to be released on the 22nd? Not in its current state. Do I think they have time to be able to take care of those things and get it in a spot to where it's ready to be released? Certainly, I think so. But let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. Once again, just a discussion video to talk to you guys a little bit as we get ready for the release on the 22nd. So anyways, thank you guys for all the support. I'll see you all in the next one. Remember to stand out, be different, have fun, go further beyond in everything that you do. My name's Cody. Call me further. I'll see you all next one. Bye guys.